Hi, Patrice. I just want to start with the slider question first because that's the one that's going to be the trickiest. Well, sometimes it's tricky, but basically all you do is you go to your libraries folder, you go to your sliders folder, and there's the default slider right here. That's the amazing slider. Copy and paste the folder, right? And I'm going to make this, I like to keep things somewhat simple and just use numbers. So I'm going to call it default slider 2. Let it update. Okay, now while we do that, I'm also going to rename the default slider library page to, you got it, default slider 2, and I'll show you why in a second here. Okay. What we can do now is just go and let's go into our sliders, and here's our amazing slider page. So let's say we want to, if I were you, to make it easy, I'd just copy your existing page, rename it to whatever you want to call it for now. All right, because there's always 10 different ways of doing this, but let's do this. Okay, so now we have a copy of the folder and we have a copy of the page. So open up the page, scroll on down here, and we're going to look for some yellow code. And it's probably about a third of the way down or so, a little bit more than that. Google search, let's go, maybe, okay, there it is right there. Okay, you see we have the begin library item, sliders, default slider. Put your cursor on that and it should show an lib item down here, right? Or just select all the code in yellow right down to here. But it's safer if you can put your cursor, select the lib item down here in the quick tag selector bar and press delete. Immediately hit the enter key a few times to give yourself some white space, and then go to the window panel and enable the assets panel. So go window, assets. Assets will show up over here. Go to the library assets, which are right down here. Now what you need to do is find the default slider 2. That's why I numbered it 2, so it keeps things in order. Select it and hit insert. Just like that. And that, let me just see here. Okay. And Dreamweaver being Dreamweaver, it's already buggered up the links a little bit here, so we're going to have to go back and correct that in our slider page. Okay, so but let's just start with that. So that's inserted, that's good, save it. Right, now let's go back to our library, sliders, default slider 2, and let's open this page up here. Okay, and what we're going to do is I want to find any reference if yours did this. You see the default slider dash copy? Yeah, when we renamed it from copy to 2, it didn't update, so we just need to manually do this. So where it says default slider dash copy, if yours is doing this, we're just going to go and rename that to 2. The same as default slider copy up here, 2. And these are just annoying little things that Dreamweaver does that for whatever reason doesn't update once we've saved them. Okay, we should save it, and now it says, hey, sliders amazing too. Yep, update. Okay, so now you can go ahead and replace your images in here just like you would normally, like you would with the original one. Okay, and default slider 2, images, portfolio large. As a matter of fact, here's the slider. We only need to do, we can actually get rid of well, there's the images right there, just to make sure they show up. Okay, good. So now you go ahead and replace your images in here and link them to your thing. Now when you're changing your images, I suggest you use the following process. You double click to open up the select image source, and then you go to your library sliders, Dreamweaver slider 2 images folder, and then select the image you want and click OK. Alright, and that'll link the image in properly. As a matter of fact, it should just be images portfolio very large, right? We don't actually need this default slider, although that link will still work. We don't need it, so it just needs to be images and then the name of your image right here. Okay, so a couple little steps and tweaks there, and the reason I wanted to do a video instead of just pointing it out is because Dreamweaver does a couple of weird things when you're copying these library folders here, with, like I said, not quite updating the links the way you want them to. So I wanted to make sure that when you've made your copy and you go to update your images, go back and just do it the good old-fashioned way, which is go through and relink them using the select image source tool by double-clicking on the picture there.